And I hope that everyone is well. Hope everyone has had a good day. We are working our way towards this week's NXT. Of course, we're coming off the back of Halloween Havoc, and we have got a few things on the schedule. I want to try and get the chat set up. That's what I'm thinking of. So we got a few things that are lined up. We've got a few Iron Survivor qualifying matches. There we go. Lovely. So Tiffany, Stratton against Fallon, Henley. That is going to be an Iron Survivor Challenge qualifier, I believe. We've got Dijak taking on Tyler Bate, another Iron Survivor qualifier match. The Iron Survivor matches are going to be taking place at Deadline, which is early December, I believe. So we've got a little way to go. So we'll probably be seeing quite a few of these Iron Survivor qualifying matches. Then we've got the return of Lyra Valkyria. She's coming back tonight. We got Bron Breaker taking on Von Wagner. That's been building for quite a while. And as well as that, we got a Heritage Cup match between Noam Dar and Akira Tozawa. So Noam Dar, Akira Tozawa, they are going to be facing one-on-one for that Heritage Cup. I don't know which way that is going to go, to be honest, because Alpha Academy are actually going to be there. So Metaphor could interfere, but Alpha Academy are going to be there to make sure they don't. So if this is going to be like a straight one-on-one, like they are trying to build up Akira Tozawa, it could be that Akira does get this. It might be that Akira wins, Noam's gutted, he has to try and find a way of getting it back. Could it be that we build towards a rematch at Deadline? Because it does feel a bit like the story is that Noam loves his Heritage Cup and he keeps like losing it, and then they have to try and find ways of getting it back again. So I am wondering if they might give this to Akira. The only problem is the Heritage Cup is so big, I don't know that you want to cart it around. I don't know that you want to constantly have it going like on Raw and on NXT. Probably be better if they had two. One that traveled around with Raw, one that just stayed with NXT, so you didn't have to keep taking it back and forth. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see. That could be a good poll, actually. We'll put it in the poll. Who leaves with the Heritage Cup? So who's going to win the Heritage Cup? Is it going to be Noam, or is it going to be Akira Tozawa? The big news today, of course, is NXT going to the CW network. We've just been talking about that a bit on the Wrestling Escape Pods. It seems like a bit of good and a bit of bads. The good is that they're going to get seemingly double the money. That seems to be like what's being reported. They're getting a good chunk of that. Hasn't been confirmed, but that's the rumor. And actually, I did have the statement. Again, it's not going to reveal the finances, but we can certainly read it because, to be honest with you, I have not read this. So we can read this statement that got put out by WWE. But the word on the street is it's going to get double the money. Doesn't move until October. Goes to the CW network. Don't know that it moves anywhere here in the UK. This is just the rights in America. So if you're in the UK or any other country, I wouldn't worry about it. This is just for America. So in America, it's going from USA Network to the CW Network. Looking at a poll that showed, or a list that showed the most viewed channels, USA Network last year was ranked 20th for total viewers. CW Network was ranked 25th. So that's the bad news. The bad news is it is going to what is presumably a less viewed channel than USA Network. But I was just talking to Tommy Toy Travels. He told me the CW network's a free-to-air channel. If you've got a TV, you've got that channel. Doesn't matter if you've got cable, satellite, or whatever. You've got that channel. So he's saying that it's a bit of a sleeping giant. He's saying that it's only that low because they haven't got very good shows. If they had better shows, then it would be a lot higher. It's not that people can't get access to it. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest, but it doesn't feel like a terrible move. It's not like them going off to some random tiny channel that's only available in a few states. Like, this thing's available all over America. And even if it is just less watched than USA Network, maybe the arrival of NXT means that it actually goes above USA Network in the viewership because of them getting NXT, and USA losing NXT. So, yeah, interesting. Let's have a little read and see what they're saying. NXT makes broadcast television debut with 5-year deal beginning in 2024. So that's going to take us through to 2029. Network to air live events featuring WWE's next generation of superstars 52 weeks a year. The CW network will become the official broadcast home of NXT in October 2024. The 5-year agreement marks the first time in its 13-year history that NXT, which showcases WWE's hottest up-and-coming superstars, will air on a broadcast television network. NXT will debut on the CW network in October and air 52 live weekly events. We are thrilled to welcome the WWE brand to the CW Sports portfolio as they play an integral role in our mission to bring live sporting events to the network year-round. The NXT is a perfect fit for the CW thanks to its, get this, dynamic, young, I'm loving this, talent, right? That sums up all of us. We're dynamic, we're young, and we are nothing but talent. So I feel like that's a reflection of us as well. Featuring the hottest rising stars in sport and exhilarating, unpredictable weekly events. The passion and engagement of WWE's fan base is unmatched. It's unmatched. And we are eager to grow that audience. Let's go. NXT's new home on broadcast television. The CW has made impressive moves over the past year with its live sports programming, said Nick Khan. It's truly an exciting opportunity to expand NXT's audience by bringing it to broadcast television. Launched by Triple H, NXT has aired weekly since 2012, features the brightest young talent in sports entertainment. Nearly 90% of the participants in last year's WrestleMania were developed under the NXT banner. Led by Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, NXT is popular with younger audiences, ranking number 1 in cable primetime on Tuesday nights last quarter amongst adults 18 to 49 and 18 to 34. Year to date, NXT's average viewership is 30% up amongst adults 18 to 49. WWE superstars such as Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch have come through NXT. NXT joins a growing roster of live sports on CW Network, including ACC football and basketball games, airing every Saturday throughout the season, and Live Golf. That's Liv Morgan's very own golf promotion. It's literally just her and I think Ruby Soho, and they just play against each other going around. God bless them. The CW is also the new home of Emmy Award-winning weekly studio series Inside the NFL and will broadcast NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. The network will soon offer more than 500 hours of sports programming year-round. That is a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours, isn't it? That's like 20 full days of nothing but sport spread across a year. Which actually, now I think about it, it's probably not that much. But it feels like, it feels like they're giving a fair whack to their live sports there. So CW Network, there we go. I mean, there's a bit on them. There's a little bit on WWE. We don't need to read that. To be honest, there wasn't really much there. Probably was pointless reading it. But, we gave it a go, didn't we? We gave it a go. I think that it's a decent move. I think of all the places they could have gone, to end up going onto a broadcast network is a great result. But don't forget that the numbers say that this is actually less viewed than many cable channels, or paid channels. So definitely a bit of work for them to do. But Yeah, I would say positive news. Akira tomorrow said, do you think Randy will be the 5th member for War Games? I honestly don't know. I mean, the chances are he's going to be there and they're trying to get him ready for that show. But what does that look like? Does that look like him being a member, or does it look like him just making an appearance on that show? So I think there's a chance. I think Drew going on the one team, Randy going on the other. Yeah. And I think as well, it would be in WWE's interest to have a mystery person, because obviously then you can kind of play into the CM Punk stuff, can't you? You'll have some people go in, I think it's actually CM Punk. And then it turns out to be Randy Orton. And so, you know, just from that alone, could it be Punk? Could it be Orton? What's he going to be? A mystery partner is just a great way of just bringing in extra views, isn't it? So I think there's a very, very good chance that that is where it goes. But just bear in mind that equally it could just be that Randy makes a surprise return at Survivor Series as well. So I'm not going to commit and say 100% yes, but Randy being at Survivor Series is feeling pretty good at the moment. If Liv was going to go golfing for 18 holes in her WWE outfit, then I would watch, said Chris. Chris, shout out to you. Can Randy go in a War Games match? I don't want him to risk getting injured. Well, actually, I would imagine it'd be quite safe for him because he can spend a lot of time just lying on the ground. And because of it being a multi-person match, you know, War Games, they say it's brutal and you're inside a cage and all that kind of stuff. But to be honest, as long as everyone's aware that Randy's coming back from injury and you need to look after him and don't do anything stupid, it's just a multi-person like match inside of a cage. Yeah, there'll be weapons, but Randy doesn't need to really be a part of that. And wherever the part of the body is that's affected, which I think is his, I think it was his like neck, wasn't it? Neck and like going into his back. Again, you know, just be super, super careful. So as long as you put those parameters in place, I can't see it really being much more problematic. Certainly, I can't see it being any more problematic than a singles match. A singles match, you know, you're not going to get much respite, are you? Because it's just you and the other person. At least with this, he could be the last one to enter the match. Everyone else can go in first. That means he spends a good 20 minutes just on the outside whilst the match is even happening. And then by the time he gets in there, you know, just make sure that he's the one that's not really taking many bumps. Everyone else can take the bumps. And, you know, just you can lay down in the ring as well for a bit as well. So I think it would be fine. I think it would be a match that he, you know, if everyone's on the same page, they can look after him. War Games is a brutal match. I'm not sure they would want Randy in a physical match when he returns. You would think they would want to ease him in. Yeah, I think that would be easing him in, though. I think it's brutal in name. It's as War Games is as brutal as you want to make it. So otherwise, it's just a load of people in the ring. And the fact that it's a multi-person match means that he can lie down. For me, protecting Randy would be a tag match. Would be a 6-person tag match or something along those lines. Any match that's going to allow Randy to stay kind of out of the action for a bit or give him a chance to have a rest for a bit, like a tag match would, or a 6-person tag match would, that would be fine. And War Games will allow that because, as I said, he could be the last one to enter, which means the match already will have been underway for 20-odd minutes and he won't even have been in the ring. And then when he does get in the ring, you know, obviously you just make sure that people aren't going to wallop him with kendo sticks or something. Other people can take those shots. But even if he takes a kendo stick to like the chest or something, as long as he's not taking anything to the back, anything to the chest and the front, I can't see it would be an issue. And there'll be opportunity for him to, you know, get like caught up with someone and then like, you know, he'll probably lie down for a bit. So it's one of them, innit? War Games, yeah, they make out that it's brutal, it's harsh, it's unforgiving, it's hell and all this kind of stuff, but it's only as brutal as you want to make it, isn't it? It's just a ring with a cage around it. So I wouldn't rule it out. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't sit here and say, no, there's no way. I would say there's a chance. But equally, I think there's a chance that he just returns and who knows, maybe he features in a different match, like maybe there's a match where Randy comes walking out after that match has ended. Could you imagine if there's a mystery person in the main event and everyone's like, it'll be Randy, and then Randy appears earlier in the card? Could you imagine then people will be like, who's the mystery person? If it ain't going to be Randy, who's the mystery person? Oh my God. Is it? Have they got CM Punk? Is it? And that could be wild, man. That could be wild. I'm not expecting CM Punk, but because it could also turn out to be AJ Styles or someone else, you know. But that could be fun. Alex Talks Wrestling said, thoughts on Roman holding the title past September 2024 to surpass Hogan's records. They could do it. I personally wouldn't do it. I mean, I would imagine Roman might be interested in it because this is all about legacy, and I know he wants to be there for his family, but for the sake of, he's on a part-time basis anyway, right? I mean, he's got it cushy. I mean, he only has to come in and do a few things like once in a while. So it's not, I can't say it's a great hardship for him to come in and get to that point, to break that record. The only problem you've got is that if you get to September, really, when's your next big show? Survivor Series. I mean, I can't see the title changing at Survivor Series. I can't see them doing it in Saudi. It'd be a shame if the title reign ended in Saudi. So you're past SummerSlam at that point. So then you've got to wait until, WrestleMania 41? So really, I don't think it's unfair to say that if you want to break Hogan's records, you've then got to get to WrestleMania 41. Which, could you do that? Yeah, you could. You could do it. Should you do it? I think you need to do something pretty good with the Bloodline story if you want to go that far, because I'm seeing a lot more people saying this year it's run out of steam, the Bloodline story. You know, I mean, last year it was so good. Everything was so good. And at WrestleMania, with them not going with Cody, you could see why, because the Bloodline was still bringing in the views. And the ratings, it's hard to gauge where they are at the moment because they have been down, but that's because Roman hasn't been around. If Roman was to have a little run on TV, it'd be interesting to see where the ratings are now. Are they as strong as where they were about a year ago? Or has it settled down? Because it definitely feels to me like it's settled down. It definitely feels to me like people are not done with it, but it's not hitting quite as hard. The idea of now going another 12 months, I feel like you're going to need to really, you're going to need to tell some good Bloodline stories, man. I mean, could it be that we do... Rock Roman at WrestleMania 40? If we could, then at least that would get WrestleMania out of the way. And then it would just be a case of, can we get past SummerSlam? And honestly, at SummerSlam, you could do... I would say if it's Rock Roman at WrestleMania, then maybe we've got a chance. Because at SummerSlam, you could always do Roman solo. You could have the Bloodline break apart, and you could have Roman against Solo, and Roman just getting past Solo and keeping the title. And then we head towards WrestleMania 41. So I would say it's probably more likely that it ends at WrestleMania 40, because I think trying to get to next September is going to be a real challenge. And, I don't know where we are with the ratings. It feels like there's been a little bit of a dip down. Is it impossible? No, I wouldn't say it was impossible. I would say that WrestleMania 41 could be a place where we get the title change. But I would have to think it more likely that WrestleMania 40 is where it's going to happen. But I thought it was going to end this year as well. I thought that this was the year it was going to end. I thought Cody was the one. I still think he's the one. And I thought that it would be at WrestleMania 39, but on we went. And I don't know. It's debatable as to whether that was the right thing, to be honest. I genuinely don't know, because I think this hasn't been a great year for Cody. I think if you look at Cody's feud with Brock, I don't know that anyone really fondly looks at it and thinks it was amazing feuds. It was sort of, it was probably the right feud to do after the Roman match because it was the biggest thing you could do for Cody. But I don't think it was that great. And then after that, it's just been Judgment Day hell for Cody, where he's just been trapped in this endless Judgment Day feud, which is now going to end hopefully at Survivor Series. And that's his 2023. So what are we going to do with him throughout the whole of 2024? If, to be perfectly truthful, it's felt like we've just been treading water in 2023. It feels like we've just been struggling to find stuff for him in 2023. What the hell are we going to do with him in 2024? So this is why I think it's a challenge, because Cody's there, he's ready, he's paid his dues, he had a shot last WrestleMania and fell short. People were really disappointed about it. It's WrestleMania 40 as well. I mean, it's a big anniversary show. You feel like this is where they could pull the trigger. So I've got to go with more likely that it's going to be WrestleMania 40, but could it go on to next year's WrestleMania 41 or WrestleMania 41? It could. I can't say it can't. It absolutely could. And I'd feel even better about it if it turns out to be Roman, because I think Roman wins that. Big Time said, I checked what channel aired last week, and most of the shows were doing about 150 to 340. It's extremely low. It's a gamble for NXT. It's make or break. WWE AEW fan says Noam is going to leave with the cup. AR1 said, do a poll. Who's had the most disappointing year, Cody or Sami? That's a good poll, actually. That's a good poll. We will do that. Maybe we'll do that once we've got past this Heritage Cup match. Who's had the more... Wow. Oh, that's a good one, because I don't think either have had a disappointing year. Just because both headlined WrestleMania. So it's very hard to say that they've had a disappointing year when both got to headline WrestleMania. But since WrestleMania, I would say it's been disappointing for both. Although Sami has had the tag titles, but how much value do you put on the tag titles? How much do you value the tag titles? Are they do they in 2023? Do they really mean much? Do they really mean much? I kind of feel like the tag titles in 2023 probably mean about as much as the United States title does, which in my eyes ain't that much. Like, it's on Logan now. Before that, it was on Ray. Before that, it was on Austin Theory. And none of them have had great runs. And the title has not felt relevant or important. And I kind of think the tag titles have kind of sadly felt the same. Great injection of talent, though, with, you know, I mean, Indus Shearer in the background. And we don't know much about them as a team because we haven't seen loads. We've seen enough to know, though, they've got a good size and there's some potential there. We know that Authors of Pain are coming back. We know that DIY has started up now. We know the Creeds have been called up. We know they're doing work with Alpha Academy. Like, you know, there's something happening with the tag division. But I would just make the argument that tag division hasn't been that brilliant for a while. So, yeah, I would say since WrestleMania, both have been a bit disappointing. One got to have a feud with Brock, which is pretty big, and the other one got to have a run with the tag titles, which ain't terrible. You know, there's worse places to be. But considering where they both were earlier in the year, I would say it's been a definite step down for them both. You know, I feel like they've just been moved to the side as other stories have taken priority. And oh god, the heartbreak of Sami not winning last night again, that really stung. And I knew it was going to happen. I can't say I didn't know. I knew it was going to happen, but oh god, just, yeah, hurt. That did hurt. I was feeling it. I really wanted him to do it. I knew he wouldn't, but I really do want that. If he doesn't win a title, it will be one of the... It won't quite be Bulldog levels of disappointment, because I always wanted the British Bulldog to win the world title, sat here in England, right? British Bulldog meant a lot to us, and I always wanted him to... I didn't even care if it was short. Didn't care, didn't bother me. I just wanted to see him reach that mountaintop. And know, wow, he's done it. You know, someone from the British Isles has done it. And granted, someone has done it now, Drew, but I don't feel the same about Drew. as I felt about the British Bulldog. I don't think many people do. It's hard to compare Drew McIntyre with the British Bulldog, who's just larger than life, iconic, kind of, one of the greatest of all time. Drew, it's not the same. It's not the same. If Drew had never won it, it wouldn't have bothered me so much. I like Drew. I ain't got nothing against Drew, but if he had have never won the title, it wouldn't have bothered me like the Bulldog not winning it, And I feel the same about Sami. It would bug me if Sami never got it. I really want Sami to do it. And I'm sure he will. I'm sure Triple H is just putting obstacles in his way. We've said before, the money is in the chase. It's all about the chase. And when he gets there, it's going to be so relieving and satisfying. And I can't wait. And I'd imagine, as I said, yesterday, I'm sure LA Knight fans are starting to get a little taste of that now, what with him trying to get the title and just falling short. And so, I'd imagine that they are feeling similar. Anyone that's had that shot at a world title that has not won a world title yet, and you're a big fan of them, like you really do want to see them achieve it. Kevin Owens has achieved it. AJ Styles has achieved it. Drew McIntyre has achieved it. So for these, it doesn't feel as urgent. Sami has never been world champion in WWE. He's had the NXT championship, but he's never had a world championship. He's never had the Universal. He's never had the WWE. He's never had the World Heavyweight. So he's never held one of those big titles. And I think he will eventually. I think this is the game we're playing. But, oh, God, they didn't need to do me dirty like that last night. They didn't need to do me like that. Brony said, Cody has to beat Roman at WrestleMania 40. I'm a big Roman fan. But what do you do with Cody if he loses? Are you really going to wait till WrestleMania 41? I just wouldn't do that, says Brony. The guy said, Daze, if CM Punk had to return, how would you introduce him at Survivor Series? Yeah, I mystery person, to be honest. Mystery person. I love the idea of it being mystery person and people going, I think it's Punk, I think it's Randy. I think more would think Randy because the reports are that there haven't even been talks between WWE and CM Punk, right? So I think most people would be saying, yeah, it's going to be Randy. And then if Randy came walking out earlier in the night and came to someone's aid or stood in the entranceway and just stared at a champion, maybe Gunther's on the card and Randy comes out, stares at him, I don't know, whatever. All of a sudden then you would think, well, he's probably not the mystery person later, because why would they bring him out now if he's going to be the mystery person later? And the excitement in the chat on social media, like that realization of, oh my God, it really could be. It really could be, That could be amazing. And then you get to the main event, the War Games match. And you do the match, and perhaps like the mystery person isn't brought out. Perhaps it's a case, like how they put them in the cages, and then you do the match, and then like they open the cage and the person comes out. Perhaps what you do is you just have 5 in that cage, 4 in that cage, and then like you work your way through. You get down to the final person to enter. Both cages are empty. The final person to enter the match is the final baby face that's not around. And then Cult of Personality hits and CM Punk comes walking out and Chicago goes banana, I would imagine. And the WWE Universe go banana. And that could be amazing. You would desperately have to make sure that did not get spoiled, which is why there is a slight chance that all these rumors of there's no talks, we've spoke to someone in CM Punk's camp is saying no, Punk might have reached out, Punk might want it, but WWE uninterested. There could be some of this that's being planted as like fake rumors, fake news. You could easily get someone to leak information you want them to leak, so that word gets out there that it's not going to happen, so that when it does happen, massive, big surprise. And that would be, it would be incredible. It'd be one of the great moments in WWE history. The return of CM Punk would be one of the great moments. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's genuine ill will on, I believe, both sides. But there are reports that CM Punk's now open to it, or has been open to it, which stuns me, shocks me, not something I expected at all, right? But I still don't think it's going to happen. But it doesn't mean I don't want it to happen. It's not a case that if it happened, I would be gutted, devastated. I'd be over the moon. I would be jubilant. Like, I really love the idea of CM Punk coming into WWE. I would worry about, backstage and drama and all that kind of stuff. But he was in WWE before. And, he was in there for quite a while, actually. And, things were okay. All right, there was the odd thing, but by and large, it was all right. Certainly not like what we've just seen in AEW. So I would hope that we could definitely go back to something along those lines, I don't know that it would be perfect. I don't know that it would work. I don't know that it would be what we want it to be, but there's so many great matches. Seth Rollins against CM Punk, Roman Reigns against CM Punk, Sami against CM Punk, Kevin Owens against CM Punk, Gunther against CM Punk. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, whereby it's just so many great matches. You just spoiled for choice as to what to do, to be honest. So I'd be giddy. I know I keep saying it. I don't expect it to happen. I'm not trying to get people's hopes up. I'm really not. But I'm just saying that, there is a chance. There is a chance that that's what they're doing. I don't think it's what they're doing, but I would do something along those lines. I love it. Love it. I think it's I think that would be really, really cool. I mean, you could always do the Sting approach as well, where the heel team are beating down on the baby faces, and then CM Punk comes down to make the save, and he's not actually a member. He just is an outside interferer. That's, take a leaf from 2014. It's when Sting came in and it was Dolph on his own, and there was loads of outside interference, and there was loads of things that the authority team were doing to try and cheat and win, and it was 3 against 1, and Sting came down and dealt with people, and Dolph Ziggler went on to win, and it was incredible. And I've said I've got that as one of my Mount Rushmore matches. I think the drama, if you've never seen that Survivor Series match from 2014, you have to, because the drama at the end was just incredible. And Sting's arrival is just, it's perfect. It's perfect. I love WWE, and I love talking about booking, and I love so many different things and different elements. And it's rare for me to look at something and think that could not be bettered. It's rare to look at something and think, oh man, you couldn't do that any better. And there's there's times, obviously, every year where things happen and you go, that was perfect. Like the UC moment or the honorary use moment, perfect. I would argue that the Sting debut was perfect. There was not a thing I would change about it. I don't even know if I would come up with something as good as what that is. I mean, it's fantastic. So I love that match. I love that moment. And I think the CM Punk one could be just as impactful. Easily. Botched eye surgery. Shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. Botched eye surgery said, Daze, how's it going? Thoughts on Hogan signing with AEW? Are there rumors of it? Are there rumors of Hogan coming in? I don't know why they would do that. I suppose they would get some press. Hogan's certainly a big name. But the problem that you would have is that his reputation's in the gutter right now. When Hogan went to TNA, it was Hogan and everyone loved Hogan, and that was a big sign-in. I think in my eyes, that was something that's kind of, I suppose in a way, it's a bit like how some feel about Edge going to AEW. It's kind of like soured how you look at Edge a little, right? Not for everyone, but for some people. It's like, I can't believe he's done that. I thought he was WWE for life. I kind of felt that way a bit about Hogan. I wasn't like crazy down on him or anything, but it was just like, man, that just feels a bit cheap, you know? He's come back. He's had these great moments with WWE. We had WrestleMania 18 and he's had his little run and all this kind of stuff. And now he's over in TNA and like, oh, I just don't like it. I just like, it wasn't sitting well. But that was a very different time because that was before the leak of, you know, his comments. And I think the relationship people have with him now is different than what it was then. And, you know, when he comes out in WWE, it's not like everyone going crazy, throwing babies in the air. Like there's a few boos and I think probably there's a few cheers. There's people that love him for what he gave us. But it's, I think, mixed at best. Mixed at best. I mean, if I was to see Hogan come out, I would give an applause and I would be pleased, but I would not be jumping for joy. And that's someone that, you know, I mean, listen, I love Golden Era. I mean, you don't get a bigger star in the Golden Era than Hulk Hogan. So I've never seen Hogan. So for me to see Hogan would be a big deal. And with my own eyes live. And for me to remember what he gave us, I would applaud and I would be, you know, I'd be pleased that I've actually seen him. But because of his reputation now and the damage to that reputation, I couldn't be jumping out my seat, screaming my head off, jumping for joy. I wouldn't even feel that now, which is such a shame. I mean, I go to his beat shop and I will go again because it's Hogan. I apologize for those comments. I don't believe him to be a racist. I don't believe he's a racist. I think they were horrific comments that he absolutely needed to apologize for. He apologized for them, but it still doesn't sit well, does it? And I understand that. I really understand that. I understand how it doesn't sit well. Because it doesn't sit well with me either. So for him to come into AEW, I don't know why you would want to do it. I don't know why you'd want to do it. I know it's Hogan. I know he's a massive name, but I don't know that anyone's going to tune in 2023 to see what Hulk Hogan's doing. I think his reputation's in the gutter. And I think that, you know, a long time ago, anyone that was interested in seeing what Hogan's up to would have checked him out before now, like when he was in TNA, or if he's been at WrestleMania and done a few bits and bobs. Him coming into AEW, I don't see the big boost. He's going to cost you big bucks, I would imagine. And I just don't see it. I don't see it. Great for sign-ins. You know, we spoke about Ric Flair and how could you use him? And I was like, well, he could speak to the fans beforehand and he could do like go to sign-ins. Maybe you could use Hogan in that capacity, but you ain't going to want to spend loads of money on that. You ain't going to want to spend loads of money on that. But having him like talk to the fans before house shows and having him like do meet and greets and stuff, that, you know, you could definitely use him for that. A lot of people think that when it comes to the legends, like there's no point signing them because, you know, you can't use them for wrestling, but there's so much more that you do other than wrestling. So much more. You've got all of these like meet and greet things. You know, if you've got a show at Wembley, you could have Hogan at the local toy shop meeting people. That's a massive boost. I mean, that would really bring people out. You can have Hogan at house shows, as I said, and advertise like Hogan's going to guest host the house show. That might boost a few extra tickets for you. So there's definitely ways of using these legends rather than wrestling that will boost your business. But is Hogan's reputation worth it in 2023? Are people going to come out to go and see Hogan? I mean, it's crazy because if Hogan was appearing and guest hosting a house show, not wrestling, but just, you know, going to come out and say a few words in between matches, whatever, I would go. I've never seen him, so I would go. So it would have an impact on me. But am I in the minority? I don't know. It's a tough one, that. It's a tough one. It would depend how much he was charging and everything, and I don't know. His reputation's not in a good place, man. Bayern View said, Daze, when do you think Damian Priest cashes in? Do you see him holding the belt? I can't see it. What if Cody takes it, cashes in on Roman at WrestleMania 40? Bayern View, shout out to you, my friends. I hope you're enjoying Harry Kane. I'm seeing he's putting up some good numbers. In regards to Damian cashing in, I think it'll be next year. I think it'll be on Seth's belt. And he could succeed. He could succeed because Seth's belt to me is you might as well call it the Super Intercontinental, right? There's one world champion. There's one championship that really matters. There's one championship that's the championship, and Roman has got it. It's Roman's belt. Roman is the champion. The one that Seth has got is a made-up belt that's only there because Roman isn't around enough. And we've just made it up, right? We've just created a world title out of thin air. So to me, like someone that grew up in the golden era where you only had one world championship and you had an intercontinental, this sort of feels like we've got a world champion in Roman, and then we've got basically like a super intercontinental champion. But it is recognized as a world championship. It is classed as a world championship, but it's in name only. It's got no history. It's got no lineage. It's a belt we've made up because we need a world championship. So because it's still in its infancy, because it doesn't mean a great deal, because we're having to give it meaning, at this stage, you could give Damian Priest a run with that belt. And I don't think it really would matter because really the heavy lifting is being done by the other championship. As long as whoever's got Roman's belt is the face of the company, is a big name, they're the ones that can carry the weight. And I think the one that Seth has got, you know, we could use that to give someone a bit of a go. Seth will still be on Raw. People will still tune in to see Seth. He'll still be on the show. It'll just be that he won't be champion. And, you know, Damien will be champion, and maybe we'll end up doing like Damien against Finn, which could be really fun for the championship. And, you know, Seth's off doing his own little thing. Sami will be around. Maybe Sami can get a shot at Damien as well. Maybe Sami gets it off Damien. Who knows? So I think there's a chance. I completely agree that, you know, Damien being on Seth's level, no, not even close. You're talking about someone that's been in the business or been on the main roster 11 years, was in the Shield, has had multiple world title reigns, has main evented loads of pay-per-views with someone that's really only just starting out. I know he's been on the main roster a few years now, but he hasn't had a world title. He's not main evented pay-per-views. So yeah, this is why it feels so jarring. It just doesn't feel right. It's just, you know, we're really taking a chance on someone here. But I like it. I like taking a chance on someone. I don't mind giving people a chance and seeing how it goes. You know, AEW have just done that with, say, MJF. MJF's a bit different though, because you know that he's, you know, one of the main guys on that show. I don't know that you could really say the same for Damian Priest. Is he one of the main guys in WWE? He's part of the biggest faction in WWE. So you could certainly say that. And they've certainly seen enough in him to give him the briefcase. You can certainly say that. So I totally get where you're coming from. 100%. It doesn't feel quite right. There's something that doesn't feel quite right, but it's because he hasn't had those main events. He hasn't had those moments, and you're only really going to get them when you get the belt. So he could do it. He could do it. Do I think Cody gets it and cashes in? I've got to be honest. I hope not. I really hope not, because unless he's going to get the briefcase and then tell Roman, I will see you at WrestleMania, and use the briefcase that way to announce it in advance. I am a big, big believer that Roman's title reign should end clean. Shouldn't be cash in. Shouldn't be a triple threat. Shouldn't be cheating or outside interference. It should be that this historic title reign ends clean, because Roman has beaten a load of people. And the best way for him to hand all of that over as well as the belt. But all of them victories, all those people that tried and failed to beat Roman, all of that will only be handed over if Roman is beaten clean. That's the only way that all of it gets passed over. It's a bit like Undertaker's streak. The only way that Undertaker's streak could be really passed over is if Undertaker was beaten clean. If someone had cashed in on... Could you imagine if Undertaker's streak ended with a cash-in? Could you imagine if someone cashed in on The Undertaker, how disappointing that would feel? Like his streak ended by someone cashing in on me, and he had the title and someone cashed in and his streak was over at WrestleMania. Or how disappointing it would be if Undertaker's streak had ended because of, like, you know, outside interference. Some, like, you know, there was like loads of people that attacked him and he ended up getting pinned. Like, it wouldn't be satisfying, because you would think to yourself, if that hadn't happened, he'd probably have won. So for me, Roman has had a lot of people lay down for him and he's beaten a lot of people. In order for him to really pass all that over, someone's got to beat him clean. If someone's going to cash in on him, it's they're getting the belt, but have they really beaten Roman? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like when Liv cashed in on Ronda. She beat Ronda, but did she really beat Ronda? Because, you know, if they had gone one-on-one, could she have really beaten Ronda? She only beat her because Ronda had just had a match with Natalya and she was wore down, right? She beat a weakened Ronda. She didn't beat Ronda. She beat a weakened Ronda. And this would be the argument, wouldn't it, with Roman? Like, Cody has finished the story. He's finally got a title, but did he really beat Roman? And you don't want that. You don't want that. But has he really beat? We don't want that. We want it to be absolute 100%. Yes, he beat Roman. 1, 2, 3. Deal with it. Dry your eyes. Stop crying, Roman fans. It's over. It's done. He's dead. So I would really be against Cody cashing it in for that reason. But I agree that the Damian one feels a bit... But this is why I think he goes after Seth's, because to me, Seth's is just like a super intercontinental. Miss Clown, shout out to you, said Giant Gonzalez should have ended the streak before it even got going. James said there's no chance in hell Tony signs Hogan. He banned him from day one, and that would make him look like a liar and a bigger hypocrite than he already does with Flair. Well, I think, you know, at what point does that boat sail where he's, you know, people are calling him a hypocrite and everything. At what point does he just go, well, you know, people don't like me anyway? I wonder if he'll ever get to that point. You know, people, those that don't like me, don't like me. Those that like me, like me. I'll make the decisions, you know, for whatever's best for the business. But the thing comes back of, like, is it best for the business? I don't even know if it is best for the business that he brings in Hogan. I could imagine a lot of AEW fans going, oh, God, he's done what? This isn't what you meant to do, Tony. I'm seeing that with Ric Flair. A lot of people going, this isn't what we want. We want you to build AEW stars. We don't want you to keep bringing in ex-WWE, you know. But that is all to the side. We are moving on, and we are moving on to this week's NXT. So last week's Halloween Havoc, which I don't think I was crazy about, to be honest. I can't remember what I scored it. Yeah, I seem to remember not being crazy, but oh God, that haunted house stuff. Yeah. That's in the past now. We're moving on, and we are moving forward to this week's NXT. Let's go, baby. Baby. Tony Khan said, I heard John Cena and Undertaker were on NXT, so you never know. Mr. Dow Jr. said, the only thing I will change of Sting's debut at Survivor Series is not doing it in front of 12,000. I would have done it in front of a bigger arena or a stadium, like a baseball stadium or a football stadium. Thoughts? Yeah, more people would have been cool. The only problem is it's hard to do that for Survivor Series because it's in the winter. So I don't know, like, going outside in a stadium is... Have we ever done it? Have we ever done Survivor Series in a stadium? I can't remember us ever doing a Survivor Series in a stadium. We may have had to add Survivor Series in a completely different place in order to have like done that. So I don't know. It's one of those where I get the issue. Try wrestling in like the colds in the winter because it is the end of November. I mean, I don't know what it's like in Florida. I don't know if it rains more in the winter in Florida. I think there is a chill in Florida. I always go to Florida in the summer, so I know it to be very hot. In the winter, I'm not sure what it's like. But yeah, I mean, if we could have got more people, cool. But I can see why there would be an issue with it. WrestleLandy said, remember the original plan for Cody with Money in the Bank last year? Looked like it was a cash-in at Mania based on the commercial. Well, the commercial certainly had him a part of it, yes. I don't know. It's a good point. I don't know what the plan was. I actually don't know what the plan was. I don't know if he was meant to be winning it and was going to be looking to do it as a cash-in, whatever. But all I can say is I'm pleased it didn't go that way. It's not the way that I would want Roman's title reign to end. But yeah, it's true. It was a part of the commercial. Right, here we go. We've got... we're inside the Performance Center in Orlando. Crowd are pretty fired up. It's not a bad card tonight. Genuinely, it's not a bad card. We're starting with that as the first match as well. That's good. So we said, who's going to leave with the Heritage Cup? 60% of you said Noam. 40% said Akira Tozawa. Well, we're going to find out because Alpha Academy are here. And the Heritage Cup match is first. Let's go, man. Akira Tozawa. Tozawa making his way down to the ring with Chad Gable. We got Otis. We got Maxine as well. Maxine can come and see her old friend Von Wagner. She used to stand in the crowd and watch Von Wagner. And they did a little thing. So she's got a little history of being on NXT. She wasn't on it long. I think she was even on it when I was going through that period of not watching. Because it was NXT 2.0 and I was really struggling with it. Here is Metaphor then. Metaphor are making their way to the ring. There's Noam with his Heritage Cup. We've got Jakara Jackson. We got Lash Legend. Oro Mensa. I love these matches. Heritage Cup matches. I think they've been a really good addition. It's just something a little different. 6 3-minute rounds is what we've got. It's 2 out of 3 falls. DQ or knockout ends the match immediately. The goat Tozawa, said Dark Angel. Heritage Cup graphic. Let's go. Let's go. Also tonight we got Bron Breakker taking on Von Wagner. We've got that match. We've got Fallon Henley against Tiffany Stratton. And Lyra Valkyria returns. So lots of things coming up, but we're starting off with a Heritage Cup match. Yeah. Okay, Akira in nice white ring attire. I like his ring attire. White and black looks cool. Akira trying to grab a hold of the leg, but Noam gets Akira's leg. Working on the arm there of Akira, Noam. Starting us off, round 1. Some good mat-based wrestling here as Noam's trying to grab a hold of the headband. Elbows coming into the heads. Noam trying to grab a hold of Akira, who's rolling him over. Akira getting up, back in the corner. I'll have to make a video of me reading a couple of poems. Oh, it's Sunny. Do it. Yeah, do it. Definitely. Check out that one that I tried to play. I don't think Triple T was feeling it. She's really good. Freers. It was called The Film. And as I said, it's about, like, them filming guys' reactions to them asking, like, will you slap me? And the guy's like, oh, being a bit nervous about it. But it's a really like the twist at the end, like where it goes, is really interesting. That's the only poem I can think of that I've ever heard in my life that has actually had an effect. It's actually made me go, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I think there probably are some fantastic poets out there. I know poetry is a weird conversation, but Sunny has got a poetry book out, and it got me thinking about if there was any poems I'd ever heard that really had an effect on me. And I really struggled. But I would like to like poetry. It's something I would like to like, but I just don't think I've found the thing. Akira is climbing up. We've got 20 seconds left to go. Metaphor are trash talking Akira. Akira jumps down, goes over. Metaphor are... Akira's going over to the Heritage Cup. What are we doing? I don't know what he was doing. He was just going over to the Heritage Cup. That allowed Noam to jump outside the ring, sneak up behind Akira, but Akira grabs him, throws him back into the ring. He climbs up. Noam jumps up as well. Noam's looking for a superplex. End of round one. Big superplex to end the round. They're grabbing their guys, dragging them back to the corner. Maxine is in. She's getting in the face of Jakara. Noam's secret sauce. Maxine's trying to give encouragement to Akira. Both guys are down in the corner, about to get underway with round number 2. Okay, round number 2. Both fighters coming out into the center. Kick coming in there by Noam. And again, Akira taking down Noam, throwing in some shots. Akira rolling over, and do you know what? They could just throw to a little picture-in-picture sponsor in between the rounds as a way of like upping their advertising. Pin by Noam. Did he get it? Shot to the back of the head after the pin as well. Yeah, end of second round. Noam manages to pin Akira, and are they going to go to commercial? Yeah. Yeah. I was just looking, and I was like, in between the rounds, there's not loads that tends to happen. So if you're a TV company, I could see you probably appreciating this match style, because in between the rounds, you could always throw to like a picture-in-picture commercial of some kind. People are so sad creating accounts of wrestlers, said James. Wan said he did a cheap shot. He did. Sonny said... What did Sonny say? Poetry may be my thing. I tried to write a thriller book about psychopaths and literally gave up. And then a fantasy book, which I gave up on. Poetry is easy but hard. Do you know what? I watched another Bjork video. And she, in her video, was doing a play. And there was something that happened in the play that made me go, oh my God, that is such a great idea. That is such a great idea. And it really got my cogs whirling, if you will. And I don't even think what she did is the idea I'm about to tell you, I don't think is what she was doing. But it gave me that idea, and I was like, you could definitely do a play on this. And what all she did was she followed this path on the floor, which took her to where she needed to go, right? That's all she did. Just followed this path. But it just got me thinking, could you imagine if there was a play where we, the viewers, can see where the character's going to go before they go there? Like, it's like a path that we can see on the floor, maybe like lighting or something. The character themselves have decisions to make, and they don't know what they're going to do. Do I go this way? Do I go this way? If I go that way, it means this. If I go that way, it means that. We can see what they're going to choose, but the character doesn't know. And I kind of thought that would be so good, because what if that's going to lead you down some bad paths? And we can see, like, maybe like the floor starts to reveal their decision, and we can see what they decide before they even have decided. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like there's something there. I feel like there's a play there. I feel like there's something you could flesh out with that. And I was like, yeah, man, it really's got me thinking. And I was like, and that all came from a Bjork video, because do you know what? Bjork's the best. She's the best. Russell Andy said, Daze, the Heritage Cup can only be sponsored by ye olde English sponsors. Let's go. Let's go. Like old ales and Yorkshire Aunt Bess's. Mr. Kipling and Aunt Bess's, that's it. Like the Wizard of Oz school plays with the yellow brick roads. Well, to be honest, I've never seen the Wizard of Oz, so I can't comment, but I think they follow the yellow brick roads and they're aware of it. This is more a path that it's more a path that they're not following. It's just we're seeing what they're going to choose, and we're seeing like a dotted line on the floor that shows us where they're going to go before the character has actually made the decision themselves. So I suppose it brings into question, I suppose it would be a little bit of a play about, you know how people say life is mapped out for you and you're not really choosing things, you're just following the life that's already been decided for you. I suppose in a way it'd be a play based on that. They don't know. They're not following any path. They can't see anything. We, the viewers, though, can see the little thing on the floor, but the characters can't see that. So it'd be kind of based on that. So I don't think that's Wizard of Oz. I think they do literally follow a literal yellow path. But I get your reference. Right, anyway, round 4. And it's 1-0 to Noam Dar. You've got to get 2 falls in order to secure the victory in this. Noam Dar in the corner charging over. He collides into Akira Tozawa, and Akira Tozawa goes down. Shoulder up there by Akira Tozawa. Noam Dar urging to the ref that it was a 3, but the ref's like, no way, Jose. I've unfortunately seen the Wizard of Oz over 100 times when I lived with my mum. My brother loved the movie. I hate it. Dark Knight said, Wizard of Oz is goated. The Return to Oz is even better. I've not seen it. I've got to say, my old film knowledge is terrible. Is really poor. Suicide dive by Akira. Tozawa back in the ring again, goes against the ropes. Suicide dive into Oro Mensah. He keeps looking at the cup, man. He keeps getting distracted. You're 1-0 down, Akira. Boom, kick coming in by Noam. Akira moves out the way. Akira getting into the ring. Punch coming in there by Noam. Akira rolling Noam up into an ankle lock. He's got the ankle lock. Noam in the middle of the ring. He's going to tap. 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 And he taps. 1 minute 21 on the clock. It's 1 fall each. Noam Dar 1. Akira Tozawa 1. Which way is the Heritage Cup going to go? You lot have said 60-40 in favour of Noam Dar. 60-40 in favour of Noam Dar. Juan said they do 1 fall each most times to look good, as we know. Tozawa with an ankle lock, said WWE AEW fan. Okay, here we go. So we're going into round 5. Akira goes charging over. Big boot by Akira. Akira goes back. Another big boot by Akira. Akira with Noam. Beautiful suplex. Goes over looking for the cover. 2. Kick out there by Noam Dar. Kick out by Noam Dar. So high angle slam and he went for the cover. Right now, Akira has got Noam. Akira chanced by the crowd. Noam went for the kick, but Akira moved his leg out of the way. Lovely back elbow by Noam. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Akira. Shoulder up by Akira. Noam is digging deep. This, I think, can go 6 rounds. So we're in round number 5. The rounds always end immediately when there's a fall. So that's why we don't finish off the previous round. That's the punishment, really. You lose a fall and you lose a load of time. Noam is back in the corner, charging over. Beautiful Frankensteiner by Akira. And Noam comes over, misses. German suplex by Akira. 2. Kick out by Noam. Kick out by Noam. We got 1 minute 38 counting down. Right, he's managed to grab a heel hook by the looks of it. He's got a, I don't know if they're trying to make that a knee bar, but either way, Akira's got out of it. He picks up Noam. German suplex, deadlift German. Absolutely brilliant by Akira. Lovely kick by Akira as well. The rehabilitation of Akira Tozawa is well underway. He's putting in a hell of a performance here. Akira climbing up. Noam Dar is down. Oro Mensah jumps up on the edge of the ring. He gets kicked in the face. Lash Legend trying to pull Noam out the way, and he does. She does. Back in the ring goes Noam. Akira goes crashing down into the ring. Alpha Academy have come over. Akira with, oh my God, a brutal enziguri. And Noam Dar has won it. Noam Dar wins 2-1 with plenty of outside interference. And you've got to say, Alpha Academy did not do enough there to neutralize the presence of Metaphor. I love the finish. I love the kick. I love how Akira was like bent over, doubled over. He got kicked into next week, man. Ankle lock applied. What's with American flags, said Alex. Oh, it's just left over from Great American Bash. But to be honest, NXT is always in America. It's always at Performance Center. And if we leave the Performance Center, we tend to still be in America. So I just sort of kept him around. I like to have a little something up there. We have bunting on some others, but... Oh, look at this Oro Mensah getting in Akira's face. What the hell's this about? Slap there by Maxine. Oro is getting German by Chad Gable. Oro Mensah gets German. Now Otis. Big splash. Alpha Academy put their arms in the air. Akira Tozawa disappointed. It's another attempt by Akira to get the win, but I like the story. He's trying. He's doing well, but he's just not getting the wins. He tried against Nakamura, no joy. He's tried against Noam, no joy. I like what we're doing here. He's trying, and he's just not quite getting there. Okay, December 9th, NXT Deadline. Hello, Mick Foley. Mick Foley announcing the qualifying matches, or the first couple of qualifying matches. We'll be seeing those tonight. Choking the cut leaf Luchasaurus, said Godfather So. He was on Big Brother. I guess the dude stinks. Mark my words, jungle is the devil. About 2 pound chicken wangs, boneless. R.I.P. Vince and Trish, makeout scenes. Godfather's Ho, shout out to you. James said, some think Punk's in the devil mask person. If it turned out to be a work, his firing, that could be either genius or dumb, because you're sacrificing a lot just for a swerve. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be CM Punk. I believe what we've been told. I think everything that's been reported. I mean, there seems to have been. It would be one of the most elaborate works in the history of wrestling if they'd been able to plant a story that Jack Perry and the glass and the firing and all of that stuff. And to be honest, what result are you getting for it? All you've done is you've just kind of made yourself look incompetent, like you can't control CM Punk backstage. Looks like there's backstage anarchy. And it hasn't resulted in a boost to ratings. All you've ended up doing, if he is still under contract, is you've removed CM Punk from your TV for an extended period of time, you know? So you've just been without CM Punk? So I would struggle to know what the benefit was meant to be if it was a work, other than he's back, big shock, big surprise, like the impact of that moment. But look at the negative aspects of it that they've just had to go through in order to get to that positive moment. Like, would it be worth it? I don't think he's under the mask. I think there's a good chance it's Jack Perry. I think there's a chance that it's Britt Baker. Like, it was observed that one of those devil mass people that attacked Jay White a few weeks back looked female, seemed to have a more slender body. And there's people saying, well, because he's so close to Adam Cole, wouldn't it make sense that Britt Baker, who we're just not seeing much of at the moment, wouldn't it make sense that she would be, like, on board with him? I think that makes sense as well, so. Daze, how would you book Cora Jade's return? I don't know, because I don't know where she's going, to be honest. I mean, if she's going up to the main roster, I don't know that I would do anything that big, because, to be honest, I don't think any people would know who she is. We see time and time again a load of people coming up to the main roster, and they don't get big reactions. You know, Creed Brothers aren't getting big reactions. Tommaso didn't get big reaction. Johnny, maybe a little better, but it still wasn't anything crazy. Cora Jade, I mean, she ain't no Tommaso or Johnny Gargano, is she? So I've got to think if she went to the main roster, we'd actually have to do a lot of work of introducing her. So I don't think you can really afford to do anything that crazy, because it's going to be crickets when she comes walking out. So, yeah, I for that one, I think you'd probably just bring her in and just get her going, you know, and just start building her up and introduce her and maybe do some interviews and try to get the crowd used to who she is. There is a chance, though, that she'll end up coming back to NXT, isn't there? There is a chance that she's not actually done with NXT and that she will be... she could be in this Iron Survivor match, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I mean, like, I feel like she's fine. She's all right. I mean, she could go to the main roster, but she's also someone that I think could benefit from being like the women's champ and having a run with it and having pay-per-view matches. I mean, how many singles pay-per-view matches have we had of Cora Jade? Like premium live event ones, you know? Has she even had a singles premium live event in one of those arenas? Has she even had that as an experience? You know, maybe they think she doesn't need that, but I don't know. It seems a bit weird. She's still really young. I don't know that I'd be in... I don't know where the rush is. I don't know why we need to call her up, but last time we saw her, she said that she was done and she was packing up and going, you know? I think I'd probably keep her in NXT. And I might look to put her in a faction or do something like that, you know. Her and Blair Davenport could be interesting. But yeah, if she was going to the main roster, I wouldn't come up with anything elaborate. I don't think people know who she is. Coach Co said Michael Jackson tickling his mate Lucia the Kid. Find Lorena Bobbitt is the Fawcett Hennessy bottle. Pernil Harder, Roman's Most Smoky Fins, GMCD. Pernil? Don't even know what that word means. Kojiko, shout out to you. I hope you enjoyed Crown Jewel. And I hope you are enjoying NXT as we are in the women's locker room, Kojiko. Here we go. Here we go. We got Lola Vice. We've got Kalani Jordan. We've got Ariana Grace. Mackenzie in the background. Electra Lopez. I like how Ariana Grace was trying to come in with a few words there. So is her gimmick to be Miss NXT and come out with those like feel-good comments that they tend to do at Miss Universe, you know? I would love peace for the world kind of a thing. Was that Tiffany or Mackenzie? Maybe it was Tiffany. All these blonde women look the same. Do you always find that when Roxanne is saying something backstage, maybe she's always smiling? I wouldn't make promises. I don't like that look that she has when she's delivering like her sentence. Like, she's always smiling. She just seems like she's always naturally happy, which is annoying. Annoying. Sometimes I want her to actually be angry. The angriest I've ever seen her is when she blocked Cora Jade's number, as we know. That was horrific. Here's Lyra Valkyria, anyway. She's got nothing to be angry about. She is looking fabulous. Lyra chants. It was Billie Piper. You deserve it. You deserve it. Well, there's going to be quite the queue of women coming for you, Lyra. They say never meet your heroes, but they clearly had never met Becky Lynch. I didn't just meet my hero. I beat her. I defeated an icon. This is a big challenge, isn't it? This live promo. This is she's doing all right, but there's been quite a few times where we see them tripping up in this kind of a stage. She's doing okay. I know that locker room is packed full of hungry competitors that want to take this from me. Hello, who's coming through the crowds? Is that Xia Li? Is that Xia Li? Xia Li's coming through the crowds. Xia Li, why do you want the NXT Women's title, you boomer? You don't go here. You don't go here. You don't go here. You don't go here. Come on, everyone. You don't go here. I screw you then, Jesus. Thought this place was meant to be fun. Right, Xia with big trainers. Did you see what I did to your hero? If you want a championship, you should go and win one. That's what Becky said. Is that why Zaya's here? Now I plan to take yours. You don't have to do it. Who's this boomer? You don't have to do this. Yeah, goods. You got man, he just got messed up. He just got messed up. That was a great kick. And they're thick boots as well, aren't they? You see the size of the heels on them boots. Jeez. Jesus. These two face to face, Xia Li, Lyra Valkyria. I like this attitude by Xia Li. I feel like she's actually got something to her now. I'm not sure about this. I'm always pinpoint laser focused. Tyler Bate is so good in the ring. I'm tired of living on a resume of the past, says Tyler. This David has slain many Goliaths in the past. The games are over. Fallon wants in the Iron Survivor Challenge match. She's got to get past Tiffany Stratton, though. Tiffy time is over. Right, here we go. Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy time is over, apparently. So, Lyra and Xia is pretty fun. Wasn't predicting that. Lyra's just making her way to the back. She walks past Tiffany Stratton. Let's get that poll up, shall we? Let's get that poll up. I said we would do it. Who has had the more disappointing year? Who's had the more disappointing year? Has it been Cody? Or has it been Sami? It's a good question, that. We'll see what people vote. I don't know what I would vote, to be honest. Don't know what I would vote. We'll see. Are they always every superstar go on vacation? NXT security needs a raise, said A Jobster. He got smashed, didn't he? He got absolutely smashed. Was just bringing her to lose to Lyra, said Serious Gaming. Well, I think so, to be honest. I think that she will lose. I hope she loses. I don't really want to be seeing Xia win that title from Lyra. I mean, she could, but doesn't do much for Lyra, does it? I suppose Lyra's beaten Becky. That's great. She is a former NXT Women's Champion, but only holding it for, like, what, a month? Because I don't know when that match is happening, but my mind is saying Deadline, but maybe not. Perhaps she faces Xia in a couple of weeks, and then we do another match at Deadline. I don't know. Could she face Xia and lose it, and then rematch at Deadline and win it back? It just feels a bit... Why are we doing that? I think it's Sami, because Cody has been around the main event most of the year. Sami has been in a tag team, said WWE WFM. It's a good question. I Love Ashton said, would WWE be what it is now if COVID-19 never happens? Yeah, I think so. I think COVID affected it at the time. I don't know that... Because I think that the biggest change was the allegations coming out against Vince. And it felt like Vince was going to weather that. But actually, Vince used that as a way of going and securing the sale. So I think we would still be where we are now because I think those allegations still would have come out. I think Vince still would have stepped away. I think Triple H still would have been in charge. I think that Vince still would have sold the company, even if the pandemic had never happened. So there may have been, some little changes. Would we have? I don't know. We probably couldn't do the Drew story the way it's being told now because he would have won the title at WrestleMania 36 in front of people, for example. So there would be changes, but I don't think they would be massive changes. Like those allegations still would have come to fruition. Vince still would have had to have gone away. Triple H still would have took over. We still would have sold the company. So I think that all of that kind of major change, Shawn Michaels still would have took over NXT. All of that still would have happened. Right, we are back from commercial break and we're 40 minutes into the show. Stand and Fight said, Sami has had a great year. Without Sami, the bloodline wouldn't be half of what it is. The story with KO, Royal Rumble, and the big match at Elimination Chamber, and then the tag win at WrestleMania. That is all true, but as soon as you get past WrestleMania, I think it has been a disappointment. I mean, he was in a tag match against, was it Roman and Solo at, was it Night of Champions or something? I'd say that was obviously a highlight as well, but really outside of that match, I think the rest has been really throwaway. I don't have much value in the tag titles, and that's not just something I'm saying now. I said that when the plans were kind of revealed that Sami wasn't going to win at Elimination Chamber and he was going to go up against the Usos in the main event of WrestleMania. My reaction was, well, he's in the main event, that's great, but it's a hell of a come down for competing for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. That's a big step down to now go after the tag titles. So I agree. Bloodline, Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. That gets us to the start of April. And then the rest has been a bit... Oh, okay. They're going on Supernova sessions next week, Alpha Academy. Oh, yeah. Here's this group. Damon Kemp, Drew Gulak, Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne. You choose to be associated with this group. Damon Kemp. The Heritage Cup should be off limits to a group like you. Why don't you stretch this? Go on, Otis. Shush. Shush, please. Why don't you stand across the ring from me tonight? Otis is challenging Drew Gulak. And it looks like challenge has been accepted. Otis. Otis. Thank you. Thank you. Right, who's coming out of Sean's office? It's a referee. What's that about? Come on. So there will be a winner tonight in Von versus Bron. So we saw the ref coming out. He's just saying that, I've been told to use my discretion tonight. I've been told we need a winner. I like that because it's going to clearly set up something that's going to happen in the match. There's clearly something that's going to go down that's going to require the referee to show a bit of discretion. So I appreciate the fact they've planted that seed beforehand. If they didn't do that, and then something happens in the match, we'd be all moaning about why have they done that? Why is the ref not calling it? But they've told us, basically, They might as well have just gone, right, guys, something's going to happen in Von versus Bron, right? It's going to be a little bit maybe unconventional. Yeah, it's going to require the ref to use a bit of discretion, but we're showing you that Sean's fine with it now. Yeah, we're just planting that seed now. Yeah. Of you. So, thank you. But in the background, we had not Ivy now. What's her name? Ava. Ava going in to see Sean. And there was a few from the crowds. What she want? Do you reckon she's gone in and gone, why did you hate my dad back in, like, when he first started? Why did you make his life so difficult? What's your problem? Probably not. But there is believed to be a not a very rosy relationship between The Rock and Shawn Michaels. Right, we are underway. Anyway, Tiffany and Fallon. The NXT refs are the next, as we know. Everyone, please vote on my question, says AR1. Well, we've had 116 votes, but it's doing okay. It's ticking along. It's chugging along. It's not doing bad at all. It's not doing bad. Might get to the 200 point. And it's very, very, very close. As I said, I wasn't sure which way people would go, but at the moment it's 53-47 to Sami. Superplex by Fallon. Henley, this is an Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. Daze, what do you think of a faction of Io, Kyrie, Asuka, Bailey, and get in Cora to join her and Dakota? Don't mind it. Yeah, sounds fine. Sounds fine. Io, Kyrie, Asuka, I think's cool. And if they are going to call up Cora, putting her with Bailey and Dakota, yeah, that seems fine. Bailey seems to want to help. The only problem I would have is that Bailey is a great wrestler who I really appreciate and thought was like an MVP during the pandemic. And then obviously she got injured, and so we lost like 12 months of Bailey. And then she's come back with Damage Control, and she has very much took a back seat. She took a back seat to help them and like give them like her spotlight. I mean, very selfless, very selfless. And I think it's something she enjoys. But Bailey has still got so much to achieve herself. I mean, Bailey has never main evented WrestleMania. Has Bailey won the Rumble, actually? Has Bailey ever won the Rumble? Let's Google it. In my head, my head is saying no, but my head lies to me sometimes. No. She's one-time Raw champ, two-time SmackDown champ, two-time Women's Tag champ. She did win Money in the Bank. She's a Women's Triple Crown. She's a Women's Grand Slam champ, but she's never won the Rumble, and she's never main evented WrestleMania. And so, you know, there's clearly things that she still needs to achieve, and she's 34. So she's got, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years, something like that. I always think about early 40s, you know. So 34 years old. I would just worry about her just now having another new person join up with her. Is that going to mean that she's now giving another 12 months of her career over to getting Cora Jade over? And when does it end? When do we like get Bailey back to where she was Bailey Doss straps, and basically she was on her own? And you know, that's my only concern. That's my only thing, because I think that what we've had from Bailey over the past, I don't know, year and a half, whatever, since she came back at SummerSlam, was it 2022 she came back? SummerSlam 2022, so it's probably just over 12 months, isn't it? Is it really that? No, well, SummerSlam's more like August time, innit? So July, August. So it probably is coming up to a year and a half now. So it is probably coming up to a year and a half. And I think what we've had has been it's been all right, but it's just nowhere near as good as what it was. But I like those teams. I don't have no problem with Cora joining up for those teams. Jim said Bailey is the Marty of the Four Horsewomen. Sean said, with the Elimination Chamber in Perth, do you think it's possible WWE could bring back Cassie Lee, former Peyton Royce? I don't think so, no. Don't think so. She's just had a kid, and I don't think she was a big enough star to bring back on her own unless you bring in Billie Kay, but I think Billie Kay's just having a kid as well, isn't she? So, no. I mean, they didn't bring Tegan Knox back for the Wales show. They brought her back, but it was months later. So they didn't even, when they went to Wales, they didn't even get Tegan Knox. So are they going to go and bring back Peyton Royce? I mean, no, I don't think so. I think Rhea Ripley's more than enough. Rhea Ripley, Grayson Waller, some other boomers. You know, it's more than enough. What you want to do is you want to go and get yourself the Bushwhacker Luke. That's what you want to get. I know he's from New Zealand, but it's close enough, innit? They're basically the same country. Mitchell, shout out to you, buds. Hope you are well. Welcome, welcome. Mitchell said, I watched the stream last night. I missed the stream last night. It was my birthday. Yeah, of course it was. I was going to wish you happy birthday on that stream. But I didn't because you weren't around and I didn't remember. But I do remember you saying that it was your birthday. I watched Raw. I was mad. Sami lost the title match. What are your thoughts on the War Games team? Do you think anyone else gets added to War Games match? Yeah, I mean, I think someone else will be added. I mean, the streets are saying that it could be Randy on one side and it could be Drew on the other, and that'll make it 5-on-5, which I think is probably about right, isn't it? I think, was it last year that it was 5-on-5? I don't think they'll keep it 4-on-4. So Randy Orton being the mystery person on the one team, and Drew, you know, we've seen his little interactions with Rhea. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I don't know that Randy would come back to that. It could be that they end up getting someone else instead. And obviously there'll be plenty of speculation about CM Punk, you know, so... but yeah, I think there will be a couple more people, one each side, that will be added. But I hope you had a good birthday, Mitchell. How is Chuck E. Cheese these days? Are they still doing good business? Fallon, Henley gets thrown through the ropes. That was a good, pretty brutal spot, actually. It's not often you see someone just literally hurled to the outsides. Tiffany Stratton not giving a flip about Fallon Henley, wrapping Fallon's leg around the ring post. And again, going the other way as well. Kick coming in there by Fallon Henley to the head of Tiffany. Tiffany getting into the ring. Roll up by Fallon. These two obviously not fans of each other. Kick coming in. I've got to think that Tiffany's going to do this. Fallon goes up. She gets powerbomb down by Tiffany. 2. Shoulder up there by Fallon. Tiffany working on the leg of Fallon Henley, dragging her over. She's going to go back. Oh, I'm bridging over as well. That's lovely. I'd like to see Fallon selling that a bit more, though. Her selling there was not very good at all. Tiffany bridged back and Fallon was just kind of like taking a few deep breaths. Her selling of that was quite disappointing. Back elbow by Fallon. Fallon going over to the corner. Boot coming in. Fallon charges over. Shoulder tackle. Tiffany goes down. I don't think her selling is particularly bad. I just don't think she was aware that the move was like fully on and that she was meant to be selling. So she was just sort of lying there. Red Velvet's going to return tomorrow, said A. Jobson. Wan said they always do 5 or they done 4. My first was last year. Well, it normally tends to be 5. I think, have they done 4 with NXT? Because... NXT War Games. So, yeah, when it was the Undisputed Era against Team Pat, that was 4-on-4. When it was Team Black and Gold against Team 2.0, that was also 4-on-4. So 4-on-4 has been done down in NXT. But last year, I believe it was 5-on-5, wasn't it? Was it? Now I'm saying that. You've got me doubting it now. Tiffany Stratton secures the win. Let me have a look. In my head, it's telling me it was 5-on-5, but now I'm wondering if that's true. Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, Sami. Yeah. Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Drew, Kevin Owens, 5-on-5. Thanks, Brain. Doesn't always come through for me, but it did then. Mitchell said, I told my girlfriend I want a simple body. Have you got a complicated one? Lots of muscles and... I just want a simple body. That's all I want. I want a simple life and a simple body. I don't want to keep having to go to the gym working out. Right, we're backstage with Mackenzie and Wesley's around. Welcome back, Wesley. It's been a few months. What made you come back, Wesley? What made you come back? Wes was on a never-ending hamster wheel. Is that where he's been? He says, my mind's right and my body's right. So Wes wants his NXT North American Championship back. Here is Baron Corbin. Obviously, last week we saw him attack Ilya Dragunov. No one cares you're back, says Baron. Are you still out here searching for relevancy? You're still burning the ships, Wes? Ilya will beat the brakes off of you. He will absolutely destroy you. Baron walks off after a few words. Here's Bron. Few boos for Bron. Bron Von next. The only person that should be concerned is Von Wagner. Okay, Bron's music is playing and Bron's making his way out to the ring. Jobson said, I thought the Iron Survivor was a fun concept and a good replacement for War Games now that the main roster took it for Survivor Series. Mitchell said, I told my girlfriend I wanted a simple birthday this year. I wanted to eat steak, watch Raw, and put up my Christmas tree. All were accomplished. Sounds a good plan, actually. Sounds like a good plan. Sounds like a good night, actually. Bit of steak, watching a bit of Raw, and putting up the Christmas decorations, putting up the Christmas tree. That actually sounds like a good night. Productive. Rio said, this is boring. Tiffany is going to get another title show. Well, no, she's just qualified for the Iron Challenge match, that's all. So, Tiffany Stratton won. Herland said, Daze, at Payback 2020, when Roman won the Universal belt, why wasn't he in the match instead of signing the contract? So he was in the match. He was meant to be in the match, but the match started like without him, and then he came walking down halfway, signed the contract to say that he was in the match, and then that was it. We were underway. I think it was, for me personally, I think it was badly booked. I think that I've got a. We have touched on it before, but I've got a little bit of like doubt about, is it right for a match to start and then the rules of the match to change after the match has started? Surely when the match starts, it sort of feels like when a match starts, you're agreeing this is the parameters of this match, right? It's going to be you against you. This is the match. We're going to start the match, ring the bell, and the bell sounds, right? For Roman to come walking down halfway, signing a contract, like, to me, that contract is void the moment the bell sounds, because the match that he's meant to be a part of has already started. It started, and it started as a singles match. That match now being able to change into a triple threat mid-match, not keen, to be honest, not keen. I know it's like lame and super depth and you're thinking about it too much type conversation, but I'm just not keen. I would rather, why did he just not come down at the start and just, you know, he could have come down at the start, rolled out the ring and just stayed out the way and allowed Braun and Bray to beat each other whilst he just stayed out the way, talking to Paul Heyman. Like, he could have done that. Instead, he just came down mid-match, signed a contract, and inserted himself, like, sort of used it as a money in the bank, which I also have got doubts about. I've said before, my first reaction when Seth cashed in at WrestleMania 31 wasn't, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best cash-in I've ever seen. My first reaction was, is he allowed to do that? Is he even allowed to do that? The match has started. That gives him a title match whenever he wants, but surely not when there's a match that's already underway. Because that match has already started. It's like the terms have been agreed. It's going to be you against you in this match. If Seth wants to cash in and have a match, that's fine. But that's surely after? That's surely a different match. The contract allows you to change the rules of an existing match. I mean, I don't think that's anything that's ever been discussed. I don't think that's anything that's ever been brought up. But that has now set the precedent. That has now set the precedent. Because Seth has done it and it was accepted, now going forward, we know that that's something that can happen. So for Seth to do it at WrestleMania, my first reaction was, oh my God, here's Seth, this is amazing. My first reaction was, he can't do that, can he? He can't do that. The match is already underway. So when matches have started, like changing the rules to them after they've started, I'm just not a fan of it, man. Not a fan of it. So can't remember the original question. Oh yeah, why was Roman? Why did he win the Universal belt from Bray when he wasn't in the match? He was meant to be in the match. It was meant to be a triple threat. The match started. He came down. He signed the contract, and then it became the triple threat it was always meant to be. But I agree. I mean, I look back at that and I'm like, man, that's so messy. It's such a disappointing way to start this title reign. This historic title reign, I think, started in a really flat, disappointing way. But we're not focused on that. We're focused on Bron versus Von, and we are underway. Bron in the corner as Von throws in big shots. Bron Breakker face first in the corner. Big right hand there by Von as Bron goes to the outside. Knee to the midsection by Bron Breakker. Bron on the steps. Big boot there by Von. Bron Breakker goes down. Von's all kind of fired up. So Von still selling the effects of that stare shot that he took a couple of months ago. Shots coming in there by Von. Raining down some big right hands. And he pushes Von back. Bron charges forward, goes for a big shot. Von comes down. Bron goes down. Von, oh, look, he keeps stumbling. How's he been medically cleared? Has he been medically cleared? Knee to the side of the head. Is this why Sean said use your discretion? Yeah, I do struggle with this story. I think the initial stare spot was, it felt like it was going to divide opinion because they actually cut the feeds, and it felt like a creative reason that they did it. And I wasn't sure how it would play, but people liked it. They bought it. And then I don't know, his recovery segments have been cheesy to me. They haven't felt good or credible or anything. It's been cheesy. It's been like watching Days of Our Lives or something. And now he's in this match and he's like stumbling around, and I don't know, man. I'm struggling with this story. I get what they're trying to do. I just don't know that Von is nuanced enough to be able to deliver it. I don't know that his acting is strong enough to really be able to make me believe any of this whatsoever, you know? And also, I do question, why would you clear him? Like, if he's clearly, like, got issues and everything. We know how concussion is these days and concussion protocols. He's flipping, took a shot to the head in storyline, and now he's, like, coming to the ring, and within the first few minutes, he's already stumbling round. I don't think I'm the only one that's, like, sort of struggling to buy it. I think they were on a good path. I think they were doing some good stuff with Von, but I just think they went big with something, and there'll be some people that are into it. There'll be some people that are, you know, buying it, but I don't know. Struggling with it. Shots coming in by Von. And again, right hands. He's got Bron against the ropes. Comes down on Bron. Clothesline. Bron goes down again. Von. Double underhooks. Lovely. Is that a butterfly suplex? Or a fisherman suplex? You don't see that suplex often. Big boot by Von. What's the double underhooks? Well, I want to know what that is now. I want to know if it's a butterfly or a fisherman. I'm going to search it. Fisherman suplex. No, it's not a fisherman. Butterfly. I think it's butterfly. Butterfly. Butterfly suplex. Under the arms, hook round the back, take them over. Don't see it that often. Okay, Von has stripped the commentary table. Bron lands on his feet. He hurls Von into the ring steps. We've got the candy again. Has he got like, you know those, is it what is it? Where you need sugar? Is Vic Joseph got that where he needs like a sugar hit? He needs it. Otherwise, like, or is it just does he love candy? Bron grabs Robert Stone. He picks up Stone. Von Wagner saves Stone. And spear by Bron. Von goes down on the outside of the ring, but we know. Mitchell said, I don't like head trauma as a story. CTE stuff, it just doesn't seem like something that should be a focus. Maybe focus on Von's upbringing. That was getting some really good sympathy for him, yeah? Bron spears Von, and Bron gets the win. Mostef fan, shout out to you. What's your favourite promo? Mine was Cody Paul promo. It was a fiery segment. Have you seen it? I have seen it. Favourite promo? It's hard to not go with, like, maybe Ric Flair when he won the Rumble at 92 and a tear in his eye. I do love that promo. Or the pipe bomb was good. CM Punk. I mean, that really was, you know, that really created waves, man. So the pipe bomb definitely has to have a shout. Bron gets power bomb through the commentary table. Von power bombs Bron through the table. NXT chants. NXT, NXT, NXT. Robert Stone said you did it, and he puts his hand out, and Von looks at the crowds. And they embrace. Yeah, but he lost. That means more than any victory, does it? He lost the match. This feels very Lex Luger. You did it, Lex! You beat him! You're not the champ, but you beat him! Can we finally be done with Von and Bron, please? They really made Von lose. That's idiotic, says Jadam. Ric Flair and Jay Lethal was awesome, said Jeremy. Yeah, that was fun. Oh, yeah, God, I forgot. I totally forgot about this. Trick and Carmelo. I was there when they loaded him into the ambulance. So Carmelo's like, look, I'm shocked he was returned. I can tell he's listening to these outside voices. He wants answers face to face. And I owe him that. Trick Mellow Gang, baby. Trick Mellow Gang. So there's going to be answers face to face. That's going to be good. Who attacked Trick? Right, coming up, we got Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez. Who are they taking on? She just dances, doesn't she? Whatever, she's just going to dance. They've told her to dance, and she's just going to do it. Roxanne and Kalani. Okay, that's our next match coming up. We're got about 50 minutes left to go. Let's do halftime scores, shall we? Let's do halftime scores. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Let's go. Halftime scores, get in your thoughts. What do you think of the show so far? What about her walk out about with a clipboard as a trophy? What about her walk out about with a clipboard as a trophy? What do we mean? Like thingy, the breakout tournament thing. It's a the contract thing. I don't mind them having that, if that's what we're talking about. I don't mind her having that. When does she announce? I mean, that gets her a title match, doesn't it? I mean, surely she's going after the top title. So surely she'll be going up against, like, maybe that's Deadline? Maybe it's going to be Lola against Lyra? Right, George said 6. Serious Gaming said 6. Tingling said 6. Virus said 6. WWE AEW fan said 5.75. Charles said 7.33. Mr. Quake said 6.5. Ray said 7.5. Kashawn said, Trick don't care. Hakara Tomorrow said 6. Sunny said 6. Jay said 6.75. Arash Mine said 5.5. Arborus said 6. Terry Cook said 6.5. Trey with 6. I Am Famous said, Ringside News have said WWE have a few Hall of Famers on next week's episode of NXT. Probably going to be with Shawn Michaels like they were for last year's Deadline. Oh, yeah. Wasn't it last year they were discussing who should be included in the match? Was that last year? They were trying to figure out who should be in the Iron Survivor Challenge. I seem to remember they had, was Molly Holly one of them? Or was Alondra Blaze one of them? And who was sat at the table? Was it Mick Foley one? Road Dogg, maybe? Road Dogg might have been one. X-Pac might have been one. Oh my God. I can't remember who they were, but there were like 2 guys, 2 girls, and then they just chucked in who would impress them. And I think that's how we sort of got to the Iron Survivor teams. We did it twice, one for the guys, one for the girls. Larry said 7. JM said 8. Trini said 7. Danny D said 5.5. I Am Famous said, are you excited with the NXT news today? No, doesn't affect me in the slightest. I'm sat here in the UK. So it being shown on the CW network, it being shown on the USA network, it being shown on the Cartoon Network, it don't make no difference to me. It'll still be on TNT Sports for me. So it doesn't mean anything for me. But if it's going to result in more people watching it and potentially more people joining us, then yes, that will be exciting. NXT being a bigger brand would be brilliant. But I had a quick look, and last year, USA Network was the 20th most viewed network. CW was 25th. So it's actually going to a network that's not viewed as much. Maybe that can change, but unfortunately, it's not viewed as much at the moment. We grew up on the streets. Where are we, boys? If you didn't scrap, you didn't survive. We're very much going for the Peaky Blinders vibe, aren't we? I hate this Butch character. We don't run up on people when the backs are turned. So the Brawling Brutes are coming for OTM. The Brutes are coming. That was okay. I don't know if that really got across how tough it was for them compared to like what we were hearing from like OTM. But it was all right. Butch and Holland, yeah, the Brutes. The Brutes. That spot with Fallon getting thrown out the ring looked brutal, said I'm Famous. It was good, yeah, I liked it. I thought they did a good job with that. Bring back Pete Dunne. Oh, God, desperately, I know. Him, like, shouting in, like, and all this kind of stuff, and this Butch character. Maybe, you know, it's more than just a name change we need, because I don't remember Pete Dunne acting that way. Oh, here's Ariana Grace, Miss NXT making her way out. I wish you 4 lovely ladies the best of luck tonight. I love you all. She's getting emotional. We've got a chair that's been brought out for her. Booker T's like, that was touching. It's heartfelt. That was touching. He felt that. He felt that. Right, so we're certainly trying to do something with Ariana Grace, making her out to be a beauty queen. She's sat there. She's just so positive about everything. And she's sat in the chair. She's watching the action. She was like, wow. She just saw the match start. And she was trying to put a lovely positive spin on things. So we're very much playing into that kind of Miss Universe kind of vibe. My own wrestling company, TNA, is taken. So BBW, Boobs and Butts Wrestling. Let's go. James said it was Road Dogg, X-Pac, Alondra, and Molly Holly. Let's flipping go. James, shout out to you. The guy said, I honestly don't like war games. They probably should modify it. Make it an elimination match. Yes. Thank you. I completely agree. Completely agree. The Horror King Mayhem said there's been a lot of women on the shows lately. Yeah. But, you know, women, they're good. They're good. You've heard it here first. That's the official stance of this channel. Women, good. It's better that we have them than not have them, innit? Think about that. Think about if we didn't have them. Ariana watching on as here comes Lola Vice with a hip attack to Kalani Jordan. Dexter Loomis, I think if you built him and book him like a silent killer in WWE, could have something. I wouldn't be against him and Gacy together. Oh, yeah, I like that. Loomis and Gacy together, I like that. That's a good shout, that is. Thez Press by Roxanne. Charging over. Oh, shot to the midsection by Lola. Beautiful kick. She's got great striking because she's obviously got the MMA background. Lecter Lopez. Clothesline down goes Roxanne. Kick out. Roxanne throwing in some elbows to the side of the heads. Dragging Roxanne over to the corner. Tag made. In comes Lola. Lola. That's a rubbish move. That kind of like double hip attack. That little bop. This looks rubbish. Looks like it's got no impact whatsoever. Roxanne gets up, throws in a shot. Lola goes for a shot of her own. Roxanne looking for a leg sweep, gets it. Roxanne kips up, goes over, makes the tag to Kalani. Kalani jumps into the ring, takes down both Lola and Elektra. I really like Kalani. Cartwheel into a back elbow. Kip up by Kalani. Kalani all kind of fired up. Kick to the midsection. Oof. Lovely. One. Oh, just a one. Just a one for Kalani as Elektra Lopez made the save. There's I sent you a DM of my Christmas tree. Dude, if this is your penis with tinsel on, I'm going to kick off. I just need you to know. It's not. It's not. I thought you was going to do a William Hensey to me, to be honest. Right, we've got a couple of back elbows. As soon as we get done with this match, we will look at that Christmas tree. There's a kick to the midsection by Roxanne. Elektra just accidentally knocked into Lola. Pop Rocks connects. Kalani's tagged in. Roxanne goes through the ropes. Over the top goes. Oh, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Kalani split leg moonsault. Connects. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Kalani didn't quite get it first time, but it was no dramas. Oh. Ariana's announcing it. The real winners are all of you. The real winners are all of you. Who's that? Oh, that's the Petrovich woman. Petrovich woman. Here's the Christmas tree. It's nice, isn't it? Look at that. Nice that is. Oh, Gacy. No, you've done good. That's took some work, that has, buds. I can tell. It's took some work, that has. Got a lot of decorations, ain't you? And I tell you what, you're very hopeful for presents. Look at the amount of room underneath that tree. Look at the size of that mat. Someone's hoping that Santa's going to come and reward them, aren't they, eh? He says, now I'm in my own personal hell. But maybe I know what to do. Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy is going through some sort of crisis. Shush, please. Right, it's going to be Otis. Otis making his way to the ring. It's going to be Otis against Drew Gulak. Otis. When is Sol Ruka going to return, says John. After taking some time off. Read my comments. Well, she hasn't took time off. She's injured. She did her ACL. So she is out for a little while. I don't know. It was reported on April 27th that she tore her ACL. WWE ran injury angle on April 25th. ACL is going to be like 12 months, isn't it? ACL recovery. Recovering from an ACL knee surgery can take up to a year. So she'll be back next May, maybe next April. Depending on how quickly she can recover. Everyone's doing that. I don't remember anyone doing... Does anyone remember any old school wrestlers tearing their ACLs before, like, you know, I don't know, Stone Colds or whatever? I can't remember, like, Warrior or Hogan or Macho Man or Shawn or Marty or... I can't remember anyone from the Golden Era, like, doing their ACLs. I think it's more to do with the way that like wrestling is now and like the high risk moves that they do and the springboards in and all that. Like there was a lot more ground based offense before. Now everyone's just tearing their ACLs for fun. I Love Ashton said, just a thought of the worst idea ever. Authors of Pain could debut with Gacy as a new schism, but not with that horrible name. I don't know if they'll go to NXT or if they'll go to the main roster, to be honest, because they've already done NXT and they were already called up. Maybe they would take them back to just give them a bit of a welcome back kind of a thing. You know, Drew obviously went through the NXT system, didn't he? So maybe. Coach Co said Coach Co is debating on going to NXT Deadline. It's only 2.5 hours from my house. Oh, you should do it, man. You should do it. I would have no debate. If it was only a couple of hours from my house, well, no, I'd stream it. If I wasn't streaming it and it was only a few hours away, I'd go. I keep saying I had so much fun when I went to the NXT house show. It was amazing. George said, what are the voices he's talking about? Could they be affecting Nikki Cross? I don't know. I'm just coming up with crazy theories, says George. Not Nicole said, only a week into November and people are putting up Christmas trees. Yes, I mean, in all fairness, here in the UK, we've got Christmas adverts on TV, Christmas movie channels fired up, and it's happening. November is, I would say, acceptable now. Yeah, maybe not for all, but yeah. Okay, we're looking at Elia. I could barely put one foot in front of the other after I dispatched Carmelo Hayes. He is a warrior. And as I turn the corner, I got dropped. So Baron Corbin looks like he's next for Elia. This could be amazing. Take a good look, because now you are on my radar. With this title on my shoulder, I'm a different man. The only person that can slay the dragon is the dragon himself. It's a good video package from Elia. It's a good video package. Right, Hank and Tank. Anofi and Blades. They're backstage as Baron watches that clip. In the ring is Drew Gulak. What the hell's this? What the hell's that? They've got their own little. Hand gesture now. Gulak. They haven't got a name, have they? Gulak, Kemp, Miles Bourne, Charlie Dempsey. They haven't got a name. Big chance for Otis. Side headlock there by Drew Gulak. Against the ropes goes Gulak. Shoulder tackle. Otis knocking Gulak down. Santa's always come in. He has the ho-ho-hos, says John. Okay, Otis and Gulak, we are underway. Daze, an injured Von who was limping in physical therapy last week shouldn't have won. Maybe Von versus Bron in Hell in a Cell or Iron Survivor. Then Bron debuts at the Rumble, says A. Jobson. Go down. It's weird, coming out of Gigi and JC feud, neither woman has come out with great momentum, says A. Jobson. Gigi lost to Blair, and now JC is just hanging around Thea. Toxic attraction. Need a comeback? That is interesting. I don't disagree that they were actually stronger and more successful together. Otis charging. Shoulder first. He didn't need to go shoulder first then. But he goes shoulder first and ends up going into the ring posts. Silly boomer. Otis is down. Gulak in the ring. That's Blackpool Combat Club off Wish. Wish's version of Blackpool Combat Club. Very good. Gulak charges into Otis. Otis goes down. Gulak is climbing up. Big clothesline. Otis down again. Gulak going for the cover. Otis kicks out. Otis kicks out. And Gulak working on the arm. Look at that. Beautiful shot. I Love Ashton said it's very unlikely, but I think Punk doesn't return at Survivor Series. It's obvious my guess is the Rumble, but I would have Randy as the only return. Mitchell said, did you enjoy Raw? What did you score it? I thought it was like a 7.25, 7.5, around that kind of ballpark. I thought it was worth watching, and there was, you know, storylines that were developing. I like the Battle Royal. I like the surprise championship match. It's just we once again end with Judgment Day, Cody, Jet. It's the same thing, you know. Yeah, all right. It's set up War Games. And as I said last night, you know, maybe it's one of those where you just got to hold your nose. It was done as well as it could have been done. But a lot of people were like, I'm so glad this show isn't all Judgment Day and Cody and everything. And then at the end, that's exactly what you end up getting. And then, you know, did they have to do Sami dirty? I was thinking about this after, and like, Sami cut such a passionate promo saying that he just doesn't want, you know, thanks, Seth. I didn't do what I did for you. I did it because I don't want Bloodline 2.0. I don't want Judgment Day to have all the belts. And then later in the show, we get Sami against Seth for the title. And Judgment Day don't get involved. They don't cost Sami. Sami has publicly said he's going to do whatever he can to bring Judgment Day down. And Judgment Day didn't cost Sami. They didn't stop him from winning the title. Instead, he lost clean. I don't get it. I don't understand. I always want clean finishes. But on this occasion, it's weird, isn't it? It doesn't. I can't get my head around it. Why did they have Sami lose to Seth clean? It didn't need to be that way. Judgment Day could have got involved. And that could have been part of the reason how he ended up going to, you know, it would explain like why Sami is so hell-bent on bringing him down. But now he's got an extra reason because they've just cost him potentially a world title. But we didn't do that. Instead, we did a clean finish for this one. It's really weird because I always want clean finishes. And it's one of those where I can see the tweet now of like, if I was to put on Twitter what I'm saying into this microphone, someone would respond, oh, you always moan when there's no clean finishes. Now you get a clean finish and you're moaning still. I get it. But yeah, on this occasion, this isn't when I would have done the clean finish. It's like they're purposely doing the complete opposite to what I think is the way they should book some of these finishes. Because on this occasion, this is the one time I'd be like, yeah, protect Sami, would you? You protect everyone else. Ah, but you're not protecting Sami. Oh yeah, let's have Sami lose clean. Can't have Roman lose clean, but let's have Sami lose clean. We're backstage with Tiffany and Kiana. Otis picked up the win, by the way. BT dub. Boa in the background, and he was just talking to someone else that had like face paint. I don't know if you saw, but in the background, Boa was having a conversation with someone, and they had like face paint on as well, but I think it was Dante Chen. So Boa with like this white and black makeup on, and next to him was Dante Chen with like white and black makeup. God, please don't do anything rubbish. Please don't do anything rubbish. Hopefully they're just like Yakuza or something. Carmen Live said, Daze, I visited the high school I graduated from in 2020, Morton High School in Hammond, Indiana, and guess what happened to me next Tuesday, November 14th? Guess what happens to you next Tuesday? I don't know. Are you going to prison for going back to a high school that you don't go to anymore? Are you on a sex offenders register now? Is it that? That isn't it? It's probably not that. I'm going to guess you're going to get an award. Are you going to get an award, Kaiman Live 2, for being great? Is that what it is? Are you here to rub it in that you're great? Is that what it is? Miss Dow Jr. said, I saw someone on X say, if you still watch WWE in 2023, you need to grow up. I said in my brain, okay, SmackDown has been selling out shows each week. Pay-per-views have been selling out fast and people are loving it right now. I just... I don't know. There's not much you can say, is there? Those people are best left ignored, aren't they? You know? To me, wrestling is like theatre in the sense of there's comedy, there's drama, there's added athleticism, there's it's obviously within like a conflict resolution combat world. There's characters, there's compelling storylines, it's theater in the rounds. It's kind of like saying you're still going to theater. I mean, what I would say is that theater can definitely make social observations, and theater can be very powerful. It can be used as a form of protest. It can be used as a form of expression of really anything. I don't know that wrestling has got that same ability. I think it does, but we don't choose to go and be political, for example, right? And good. Wrestling could do that, of course. It could do that, but WWE's not going to engage in that kind of a thing. And to be honest, would the masses want to sit down and watch something like that on a weekly basis? Something that was really challenging and because theater can be that. Theater can be that. I think wrestling can be that, but WWE doesn't choose to go down that road. WWE choose to provide family-friendly content, and theater can obviously do that as well. So to me, it's theater. It's you're criticizing theater in a way, a different form of theater, different form of performance art, which honestly to me says more about you than it does about the people that choose to watch it. But you're never going to get anyone to kind of see your point of view on it, so you just have to just flipping ignore it, leave it where it is. You're not going to really change their mind. They ain't going to change yours, and you're just going to be stuck in this endless flipping cycle, aren't you? It's the same thing when people are like, "Oh, it's fake." You do know it's fake. Blah 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 blah. You ain't going to get anywhere, and they're not going to get anywhere with you. So all you ended up doing is just wasting your time in it. So we're all going to experience those types of conversations and those types of things. And, there's people out there that just don't get it, and that's fine. Here's Chase U. We got JC. Hello, is Mr. Chase here? Make sure he gets this letter. I like her accent. I don't know if she's putting that on. If she's putting it on, it's great. So the family have dropped a letter off for Mr. Chase. Thea and JC are here. I don't mind this, It's a little bit... It's a bit funhousey. In the sense of... We're in a backstage location, and we've got a bit of a story, and it's not puppets, it's people, and... Obviously, it's not kids. But it is a university. I like this. This one, normally these Chase U segments are not really that great. This actually has had quite a bit to it, and there's actually an interesting dynamic with like JC and Mr. Chase, and are they quite like, she's reading his mail, he doesn't like it, she clearly doesn't quite trust him, she's still that bad girl. We don't really know why she's a part of like hanging around with Chase U. There's a few moving parts there that are quite interesting. I don't mind that. Who is that mobster mama? I don't know, man. She was pretty cool, wasn't she? And she had a great accent. Right, let's go and change this over because it's Tyler Bate against... Is this our main event? Tyler Bate against Dijak. Tyler Bate and Dijak. Right. They're after our guys first. It's Sami next. It's going to be AJ Styles. They say it's a conspiracy, but we are onto it. What a shock. Chase U against Tony D again. Rinse and repeat. WWE main formula, says Real. Travis said, I call those type the mindless sheep to the dirt sheet writers. Right, here is Tyler Bate. Tyler Bates got, looks like he's got some slight new graphics. I ain't keen on this. I ain't keen on his presentation. I mean, vegan and plant protein and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's good for the environment and everything, but is it cool? Is it something that someone's going to look at him and go, yeah, man, I love this guy. He's vegan. Oh, I love this guy. Do you know he's just like, he's all about plant protein? Yeah. I don't know, man. We've got like leaves on his Tyler Bate, and there's like leaves for his like logo as he comes out. And he meditates, and I don't know. I just don't know if this is cool. It doesn't strike me as cool. I really like Tyler Bate, and I would love to see him go on and be a big star. I just don't know that this gimmick is it. I do think that this gimmick is a reflection as to who he is. Knee there by Tyler. Tyler, back elbow. Dijak goes down. Dark Angel said, plants are people too. Real said, Daniel Bryan tried to make vegan cool, somewhat succeeded. What, do you remember when he was all about the planet and saving the planet, and he was a heel and everyone was booing him? He was the planet's champion, and he had a belt made of hemp and people were booing him. Tyler Bates using his foot to try and kick Dijak in the head. Dijak's got Tyler up on his shoulders. Mystic Miss said, the gimmick's fine. He'll still put on bangers. Serious Gaming said, Tyler Bate just doesn't do it for me with this gimmick. Maybe put him in the Brawling Brutes. So it feels like we do have some split opinion. James said, we need the British strong style back. We need the big strong boys back. I sort of feel, for me personally, I think the gimmick's an issue. I think that it's fine that he's vegan. It's fine that he plant protein and all that kind of stuff and his nature and all that. That's cool. It's a lovely thing for his personality outside of wrestling, but inside of wrestling, I don't know that it's something that I would lean into. Oof. Dijak hurling Tyler Bate into the barricades. Mitchell said, didn't CJ Parker have the same type of character similar to it? It's not going to last on a main roster. I think he did, yeah, actually. Yeah. He did have like a protest. I remember him coming out with placard. I mean, that's, oh God, you're going back to 2014, 2015. CJ Parker wasn't around very long when I got the network. But yes, he was with placards, and he was kind of that way inclined. I don't know if it was more protest than plants and nature, but certainly that certainly felt like it was part of his gimmick as well. Yes, but it wasn't landing. It wasn't working. I mean, we are 10 years later though, and the world has very much, you know what I mean, moved more towards that. So. And I think it's something the kids are, you know, into. Saving the planet. God bless them. Hope it goes well. Sorry we messed it up. Dark Knight said, Mitchell knows more about NFL than me. I'm a loser. I have heard that, Dark Knight. I've seen some graffiti in the community toilets. Didn't want to say anything. Didn't want to say anything. I would change it once Tyler Bate gets called up, said Mystic Mist. Serious Gaming said, wasn't someone on the main roster doing something similar with meditating? I forget who. Someone on the main roster doing meditating. Not ringing a bell. William said, I smell like aged oak. I've read that as well in the community toilets, yes. A. Jobson said, the girl is D'Angelo's cousin. She was on TV with other family members a few months ago. I hope we see her wrestle. What did George Carlin say about saving the planet? Don't know. I don't think I've ever seen any George Carlin. I believe he's a comedian, isn't he? Stand-up comedian. Right, we are underway, and we've got 13 minutes. There will be an overrun. I think this is our last match, and then we're going to get the Carmelo trick segment. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, Tyler trying to get Dijak up and suplex him. Lovely. So, bop bang. Bottom bang. Another bottom bang. Oof. No joy. Dijak picking up Tyler. Plants him down. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Tyler Bates. Shoulder up by Tyler Bate. We're into the home run of a little bit of lag. Ooh, we got plants Dijak down. Tyler going for the cover. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Dijak. Shoulder up by Dijak. I don't know, man. This match, the crowd are like into it. They're sort of like applauding, but it's not really got people, you know. We've got a big, strong boy chant. Oh, I haven't even changed this over. I haven't completely even changed this. The lag has rocked my world. There we go. Dijak trying to get back up to his feet. Tyler Bates on his feet. Dijak wobbly. Shot coming in there by Tyler. Kick coming in there by Dijak. Dijak goes for a big boot. Tyler off the ropes. Clothesline. Dijak goes down. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Dijak. Next week, we got the Supernova sessions with Alpha Academy. Tyler gets thrown. Boa and Dante were planning something backstage, said, I am famous. What is the Iron Survivor thing, says Bembo. They started it last time, so it's like there's multiple people. You have to get as many falls as possible within a time frame. If you get pinned, then you have to go into a sin bin, and you have to go in there for a certain amount of time, so you're losing time. So it's basically a multi-person match where you've got to get as many falls as you can. And if you do suffer a fall, then you're kind of taken out of the match. And I think it only starts with 2 people, doesn't it? And then like a third gets added, then a fourth's added, then a fifth. And it kind of, it's a bit Royal Rumble-y. But not really Royal Rumble at all. That's the only element, the bringing people down, gradually introducing them, is the only part of the Rumble that it's similar to. The other thing as well is that you know everyone that's in it, so there's no surprises or anything. Might be better if it was surprises. Rather than doing qualifying matches, it might be better if it was surprises. The other issue that I've got as well is... And I suppose it's not really too different to the Rumble, but like if you are first and second, you've obviously going to be in the match the longest, so you've got a better chance of getting more falls. You could make the argument though that both start strong, so it's actually better to be third, because if you're third, you're coming in against like 2 slightly weakened opponents. Maybe you can come in fresh and pick the bones, you know? But if you're coming in last, you've got the least amount of time to get falls. So I've got to think if you're coming in last, that's a real disadvantage. But you can make the counter argument that if you come in first during a Royal Rumble, That's a massive disadvantage as well. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the match, to be honest. It's not one that I'm like crazy looking forward to, but we'll see how it goes. Dijak has picked up the victory. Tyler Bate eliminated. So Dragunov is the first to qualify for the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. Boo. Boo. Right, is this Trick? Is this Trick? Trick's arrived. This is going to be good. I'ma fall in love, and I'ma fall in love. Right, Carmelo and Trick then, let's go. This is going to be good, man. This is going to be a juicy segment. Let's go. Who do you want to win at the end of the Iron Survivor? What do you win? Is it a belt, a trophy, a contract? I think it's a contract. It's contract, is it? It's not a belt. I think, do you earn then a title shot? I believe if you win that, you get a title shot. So kind of same as the Rumble. Thing with the Rumble, though, is not only do you get the title shot, but you technically main event WrestleMania, you know? Whoop that Trick. Yeah, this will be good. This will be good. Got an advert of some old women on sledges going down a hill. It's an Amazon advert. I don't know if that's a UK or if that's a global Amazon advert, but they just gave each other some gifts, and one of them was like cushions. And they put them inside sledges, and then they just went down a hill, and they were all giggling and smiling. And it's an Amazon Christmas advert. Lovely. I haven't actually seen many of the Christmas adverts. They started about a week ago. I haven't really watched much TV. So the only adverts I tend to see are the ones that are on during like wrestling shows. I am engaged half-arsedly. She already has cheated on me with a lady friend. I would shag Sunny faster than Jimmy Jones' delivery van on rocket fuel. Wow. That's so beautiful. It would be really nice to have a inter-community relationship going on. That would be really nice. And then we'd have our first Wrestling Daze baby as well. That would be nice. It's a horrible advert, said Miss Clown. James said, talking of Morrison boy, does he suck in QT TV? And people said AEW would use him way better. Should WWE bring back scramble matches? I'd be interested to see how Triple H would book those. I don't mind. I don't mind giving things a go. Just a traditionalist, though. I mean, I'm you know what I mean? Give me a good one-on-one match. I think the best ladder matches are the one-on-one ladder matches. I think the best cage matches are one-on-one, or I don't mind a tag team. But yeah, I mean, these multi-person matches, they're just not for me. I thought the Rhea match at Crown Jewel was just rubbish. I thought the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental match was rubbish as well. They're just spot fests. They're just spot fests, and they've just got moments in them that are so outlandish that unless you watch it and go, whoa, that was cool, and you just don't really think about it, you just look at what happened, you go, whoa, that was cool. But if you put any sort of logic to it, then it all just crumbles and falls apart. So I'm a traditionalist. Give me a good old. And do you know what? I blame the golden era, because in the golden era, we weren't having fatal 4-ways. We weren't having triple threats. We weren't having fatal 5-ways. It's not what old school wrestling is built on. Thank you. This is one of these Gen Z inventions. Us boomers, we don't like them. We don't like them. I don't like change. I'm scared. I'm scared of the world I know changing and disappearing. Don't even get me started on this newfangled internet. Mick Foley, Jerry Lawler, JBL, Lita. They're going to be on the show next week. So they're going to select the superstars that should be in the qualifying matches. So who was it? Foley, JBL, Lita, and some other boomer. So Foley chose, made his selections. Who will Lita select next week? It's fun, isn't it? It's a fun way of doing it. Who will Lita select next week? Bum, bum, bum. Right, Carmelo in the ring. It's time to do our main event. We got about 8 minutes to go. I feel like he's going to say, it was you, and it's going to be a big bombshell, but it's not really going to be a bombshell. Ringside News have got something right for once, said James. Has Trick got new music? I don't remember that, like, intro part. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Trick making his way into the ring, and he steps up to Carmelo. Yo, Mello. I just want to say, I understand why you was upset. You got blindsided and an opportunity of a lifetime was took away. This is good, man. Roadblocks are a part of this journey. Without Trick, there'd be no Mello. Over these last 2 years, I've done nothing but Trick Mello gang first. Every time you won a championship, I was so happy for you. I did whatever it took to make sure every time Mello shot, he didn't miss. It works, says Carmelo. We were like Shaq and Kobe. It's easy to talk when you had the ball and you took all the shots. Now, why can't you be there the same way I was there for you? Yeah, Mello. I need to know. Mello. Did you... Mello interrupts him. This is good, man. This is good. I'm proper into this. I'm proper into this. I was there for you. You need to understand. I knew you was destined for greatness. Everything Cena told you, I told you months ago. Cody's had the worst year, by the way. Over 300 votes. Okay. Both in the ring. Does that answer your question? Not really. I want a yes or no. I just want to do my own thing, says Trick. You've had your main events. I want mine too. Whenever you needed me, I had your back. I was there. There's going to be a bomb. There's going to be a bomb, isn't there? It's going to be a bomb. Where's the bomb? Where was you when I needed you, when I got jumped? You wasn't there. God, I can't believe. So you're telling me you didn't see who attacked you? So he doesn't know who attacked him. Run that back. You didn't see who attacked you? Why is Carmelo fixated on that? You didn't see who attacked you? Oh, it's good though, isn't it? Mello. Did you attack me? Mello, did you attack me? And the woman behind saying yes. Mel, you want the truth? Ah, he was just about to say it. He was just about to say it, and now Lexis King is making his way out. We've got quite the paradox. So Lexis King getting into the ring. Lexis King did say last week. He was trying to put his glasses in his jacket there and couldn't get him in. He sort of implied that he had done something last week and that we would find out what it is. I want to help you get to the bottom of this, says Lexis King. Could have been someone new. Ask yourself, Trick. You sure? Are you sure it was Mello? Why don't they just smack this guy about, man? I want you to say what everyone is thinking. He does go to smack him, and I like that. Lexis King moves out the way. Lexis King was annoying there. And Trick went to wallop him, but he's ended up cracking Carmelo. Carmelo slaps Trick's hand away. Those red jeans are silly, said Hagen Dazs. Jacket botch. It was, wasn't it? I ended up throwing the glasses away. These two hug it out, but Carmelo is fuming. Bit flat, to be honest. I was hoping for something more from that segment. And Lexis King didn't really do a great deal for me there. I don't know if it did something for you, but he didn't really do much for me. I'll put the poll up in the chat. What did you score WWE NXT? Feel free to put your thoughts in the chat. Okay, so that's up. WWE AEW fan said 575. Jim said the name Lexis King sucks. Larry said 6.5. Aubrey said 6. Carmen Lives gives it an 8. Beamer said Lexis King just doesn't talk like a human. Marty said 6. Ray says 8. Chastity says 8. Sunny said 6. Jay said 6.7. Lexis King ruined that moment, said K-Dub. I agree. Terry King said 6.5. John said 6.5. Marty said the bottom dropped out. How long before Trick realizes he didn't get an answer, says Trini. Shaquem said 7. Trey said 6.5. Arborus said 6. David is booing Lexis. George Vlog said 6. It was a weaker NXT, to be honest. Blue Shirt said 6.5. Kashawn says Mello's mad. I mean, it's hard to know if he's mad or if it's just his true self, you know? I mean, maybe he is always been selfish, and maybe he did attack Trick, and maybe what we saw there was him having to try and hold it together because he just got punched in the face as well. And maybe it will turn out to be Carmelo, but Lexis definitely implied that he had done something last week, and so there was a feeling that he could come out and be revealed as the person, but he didn't come out and take responsibility. So I would say there's a nice doubt there. It could be Lexis or it could be Carmelo. So they're doing an all right job of putting them, but the Lexis character in that segment just did not deliver for me. And I don't know. It was edge of the seat stuff. I mean, it was good until. Yeah, I agree. Lexis didn't really talk like how a normal human would talk, and I felt like it was like a robot or an alien doing an impersonation. It's a lot to put on him since he's only just come in, isn't it? It's a lot to ask of him since he's only just arrived. I think I'll go a 5.75, 6.25. I love NXT, but this did feel flat. Where the F is NXT Anonymous when you need them, said Chez. A good point. That's a really good point. Right, well, listen, on that bombshell, I need to go and run off and do a few things. So the poll is up on the channel if you want to go and vote for that. I agree, maybe not the strongest of episodes this week, but NXT by and large is a really enjoyable watch. So if this was a slight misstep, then you know, no dramas. It is what it is. We're working our way towards the Iron Survivor Challenge, and of course on the main roster we're working our way towards Survivor Series. We're back again tomorrow for AEW. They're working towards Full Gear. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on that show. So I will be back in about 24 hours' time with our next stream. Big shout out to everyone that's joined us tonight. Appreciate the support as always. And we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.